There was a really pretty girl, and she asked me if I was, going to the audition that night. They wanted us to sing and dance. I'm a jock from New Jersey. Well, I'm not doing sing and dance. The first thing I did, I was a dead body on a soap opera here in New York. Then I was doing screen tests, and then I got a soap opera, and I did that for 3.5 years. At 25, I quit the soap. I moved to LA, and I had an agent, but for 5 years, pretty much nothing happened. But I would go to this acting class that Melanie Griffith, who was in Something Wild, she and her then husband, Stephen Bauer, would go to him. So I went to this guy, Harry, and I just studied, and nothing would really happen for 5 years. So I was 30, I went home for Christmas, and my parents were saying, they said, well, Melanie's in it. Well, why don't you call her up and ask her? And I said, no, I'm not going to get started like that, having her do it. And in the acting class, all the actors were saying, the guys that I studied with were saying, did you go up for Something Wild? You should go up for Something Wild. You're right for it, and blah, blah, blah. Well, I called my agent. My agent couldn't get me in. I called Melanie up, finally got the nerve up to do that, and she said, yeah, of course I will, Ray. And it turned out that she had a bad experience with the guy that played her husband. So she asked Jonathan, I want some say in it. And he said, yeah, of course. So I went in and met him on a Monday. Thursday, I get a call. Come in and read with Jeff Daniels, who's also in the movie.
Yeah. What she tells you, I know my wife. When you white bread VIP fights, just don't do it for her.
And do a scene there. So I'm watching Johnny Carson that night, and Jeff Daniels comes on, and he was talking about Woody and Jack, because he had just done The Purple Rose of Cairo, and he had just done Terms of Endearment. 2 great movies, and he was great in them. So I'm saying, oh my gosh, I got to read with this guy tomorrow. So I'm starting to do push-ups and looking at my lines again. And I went and read with him, but because I guess from studying with Harry, I was just ready and wanting it. And then I got a call, and he told me. That was the first one. I just did my homework and was where I was supposed to be, and he was with my wife, and Melanie played my wife in it, or I played her husband. And so it was, intense.
You've never seen the film? Have you still not seen it?
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever see it?
No. But it has to do more with something personal that was going on at that time. So when I did go to see it, my mother was sick, and we couldn't stay, and it just, I've never seen it.
Getting thrown out of baseball was like having part of me amputated. I've heard that old men wake up and scratch itchy legs that have been dust for over 50 years. That was me.
Ray, bat right-handed, I throw left-handed. Shoeless Joe batted left-handed and threw right-handed. So they put me at USC with the coach of USC, who had won 13 national champions, and there was this guy, Donnie Buford, who used to play for the Orioles. He was his assistant. So I was practicing left-handed, and obviously I thought they would just do camera tricks. Well, the producers and the director came down one day to watch, how I was coming along, and they saw, since I wasn't left in, but they batted really stilted back then, so I thought we could get away with it. And because it was only my 3rd movie, I wasn't going to say, no, this is what you have to do. They said, doesn't matter. Shoeless Joe never came back from the dead. You could bat right-handed and bat left-handed and throw right-handed. So, but no, I've never seen it. I wasn't script savvy, and I couldn't imagine this guy digging up his cornfield to put a ball field there. because he was hearing things. It just sounded so silly to me. I just didn't get it, but you know, I learned quickly that I was wrong. And what really convinced me was because James Earl Jones was in it. I knew Kevin because we all used to hang out playing paddle tennis, and when nothing was happening for any of us. Andy Garcia, Stephen Bauer, they're all guys that ended up doing movies, and we had this group before anything happened, and that's what we, so I knew Kevin, and then our Burt Lancaster's gonna be in it, so I guess, well, I guess they think it's good. Who am I to say it's silly?
Hey! Is this heaven? No. It's Iowa.
Nick Pileggi, who wrote the script, he also wrote the book. When I got the call, it was called Wise Guy, but because there was a movie Wise Guy, they somehow came up with Goodfellas. And Nick, when I got it, he gave me all the tapes that he had of Henry when he was interviewing him for the book. So I listened to that over and over and over again. It was like little cassettes. So I would, you know, put it in the car, and because the movie kept getting pushed. So I was just in Jersey, just waiting at my house. And I would listen to the tapes, and Henry Hill, while he was telling his story, was eating potato chips. And it's so annoying to listen to somebody chomping on potato chips while they're telling stories about their life. Now, I asked Marty, should I meet him? I wanted to meet him, but they didn't want me to do that, so I didn't. So again, you know, the way that I've learned is just doing homework. The more you think about something, the more it's going to mean something to you. When it means something to you, hopefully it means something to an audience.
You're a big cops.
Really funny. Really funny.
What do you mean I'm funny?
It's funny, you know. It's a good story. It's funny. You're a funny guy.
Joe's a great storyteller, and he told a story about how what we did for the funny guy thing, it happened to him when he was at a restaurant or something. So he was telling that story, and Marty said, you know what, it would be great to put it where they put it in the movie. And so at first what we did is we just improv'd it. And improv. And then when Marty was happy with the way it was, they put it in stone. They wrote it out, and that's what we ended up doing. I mean, we played around with it at the end. The ending was a little, there was some improv there that we did, but it was great. It was great. You know, Bob kind of kept a distance, kind of like how Jimmy probably was with Henry. But I mean, I don't know that for sure, but I did this charity thing the other night, and a cop came up to me and he said he was an undercover cop that knew all those guys. So, and he said, like, the movie's extremely accurate, but with Marty doing it and Nick Pileggi, who did the thing, wrote the book, you know, they didn't make stuff up.
Tell me what's funny.
Get the out of here, Tommy.
You motherfucker! I almost had him.
But it was fun. It was just really fun because there's something very energizing about playing pretend with people who really are in it. And you know, you don't realize the cameras or any of that stuff. You're just doing what you have to do. I mean, that's what it's all about. So it's great doing that. And then, you know, working with Scorsese, you know you could jump up to off a building, and you knew he was going to catch you because he's just an unbelievable director. Yeah, I didn't want to do that one at all because everyone knew Sinatra. I don't sound like him. I don't look like him. The only thing we have in common, we're both from Jersey, and we both say the F word a lot.
I'm gonna live till I die. I'm gonna laugh instead of cry. I'm gonna take the town and turn it upside down.
But originally, his daughters asked me to do the miniseries when they used to have miniseries on TV, and I just same reason. No, I don't want to do that. So they asked me if I wanted to do the HBO thing, and I just said no. And they asked me again, no, I don't want to do it. And I realized, wait, why do I keep saying no to this? Because I was afraid of judgment. One of the things that you can't be as an actor, if you're afraid of what people are going to say, then, and he was just such an iconic, and, everybody, but not everybody heard or knew this story. So I just said, all right, yeah, okay, I'll do it. I'm an actor, and there's so many books on him. I read lots of books. I listened to his music constantly. I lip sync, although I sang out loud to a Frank Sinatra imitator. So it wasn't even him because his music was too expensive at the time. It probably still is. I first listened to the music at Capitol Records in LA, where he recorded a few of his albums. So just being in there, just seeing what it was like, because I was never listened to anyone making music before.
I'm gonna play for the sky. Ain't gonna miss a thing. I'm gonna have my fling. I'm gonna live until I die.
Which I soon started saying, oh my God, he is just unbelievable, because to me, that was my parents' music. And then I would put on another station or cassette. I just had to take it out right away, because there's nothing as rich and emotional and the story that they tell within the song as what he did. He's just unbelievably great.
Until I die.
Ridley Scott directed it, another great director. So when it came time to do that scene, I said, so Ridley, how are we going to do this? Because I played a heart surgeon in a movie way before that. And I just became fascinated with watching heart surgeries. And then I also watched someone's brain, that his head was open, and he was awake while they were operating on this guy's brain. It was at a VA hospital in LA. So I said, really? All right. So I know, obviously, I have to be awake because we have the scene. But how do you want me to play this? He says, I don't know. So I just started thinking, I'll just pretend that the stuff that they gave me was made it goofy and like you're a bit high. I was doing that and laughing. And then when he feeds me, he said, what do you want them to, because he cooks my brain. And I said, give me dark meat chicken, because I don't, dark meat chicken, it's hard to chew. And so they had dark meat chicken on the day, and, I'm eating my brain, and I'm chewing, because it's not an easy thing at least for me. And a lot of people got sick, I heard. I was doing a movie in Canada when the movie opened, and I heard that, some just left. Even when I watched it, I said, oh my God, that's just disgusting. But it was fun to do. There was scenes where you wear the green thing and they have like these tennis balls, or ping pong balls, kind of like, so I don't know how they do what they do, but yeah, we did have to do that. It was fun. I mean, if you're asked, like, my best friends or my sister, like, I can crack them up very easily. And I said, they told me about it. They said, but the director wants you to audition for it. And I said, I don't care. So I went in and auditioned for David Merkin, who was on the ground floor of The Simpsons, and still is. And he's just a really, really good director who just has a really great comic eye. So I got it. And, the script was really good. The best thing out of all of that was Gene Hackman was like one of, like somebody that I would like to be. So I would go on days and just watch him work. Well, later, so we became just a matter, like a couple months ago I was here, and this woman comes out of the and taps me and says, "You're Ray Liotta, right?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Gene Hackman's here. He wants to say hi." And I was like just floored by it. I remember I was presenting at the Golden Globes and I looked up and there's Gene Hackman in the middle and he gives me a wave. And I was like, whoa, that's just unbelievable to me. That was the, aside from playing pretend with that stuff, it was just getting to know him was really great.
There's a scene where you go to win back Sigourney Weaver, who was your wife, and you discover that the two of them are mother and daughter.
Oh, and I come in from outside.
He's on
right?
top of her, yeah.
You're her mother?
It's just a nickname.
You let your own daughter seduce me? Do you have any idea how much therapy you people need?
I've been really fortunate to work with Al Pacino, De Niro, Gene Hackman, Robert Duvall, Anthony Hopkins, Vanessa Redgrave. I mean, these are people that are just unbelievable as far as I'm concerned and how I would like my career to go. It was really well written. The director, great guy, passed away. Really good director. And the story is just incredible. I mean, he was one of the first major, I mean, he was getting all these drugs from Escobar. He was like the American contact, I think. So it was just incredible, the lifestyle that he led. And I thought it was one of the better things that Johnny did. It was really fun working on that.
I know what you're up to. Not everything, but I get the picture. And I don't care. I don't like it. It's not what I would have chosen for you. But it's your life. It's got nothing to do with me. I couldn't stop you if I wanted to, could I?
Probably not.
No.
But it was sad because I know what he's up to. So as a father, you're not exactly thrilled with, you know, your son being a big drug dealer. I remember the scene where I'm outside in the big mansion and, you know, I definitely get what's up and let him know. That was, I really like that movie. People still talk about that one. That was kind of like something I've done before. I mean, obviously a different kind of person, and I want to get Bradley Cooper to a level so I could use him. We were able to do a combination of the script and just adding things, but the way he shot it was very fly on the wall. And I did this movie Narc, and that was very much like that. Where they just camera moved, you never knew what they were, where it was, so you were just playing, you know, pretend with it wasn't like your shot, then my shot, and a lot of these were just done, and that one was just moving the camera around.
Yeah, well, we don't have anything you can't just walk in here.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't.
What's that?
Because it's my house.
Look, you assume that I have a warrant, and I'll assume that your mother has papers, okay? This won't take long. Come on.
Kofi.
We're just gonna start upstairs, okay?
No, my baby's upstairs. My baby's upstairs sleeping. Yeah, my baby's upstairs sleeping, so no, we're not gonna start it. No, don't go up there. Don't go up there.
Relax.
He can't go up there.
Yeah, he can. Go on, Scotty, be quiet.
I guess those are what people remember. There's something about the bad guy. I mean, even other actors who've played, like intense people, they've done other types of movies, but there's just something about those kinds of roles that stick in people's minds. Iceman, yeah, what was amazing about that is that's a true story. And when I started doing homework on that and seeing what Kuklinski did and how ruthless and brutal he was, but Roy DeMeo, the character, was a real guy, a real mobster. I read some of those books about him, and he was just as intense as Kuklinski. He just didn't want to get caught, so they would hire him to do the hits.
What do you want? I'm closing the porn lab. Sorry, but you're out of a job. You could follow orders. You got everything to gain.
Yeah, Michael Shannon was great in that, but the scene in the car in the back, that was my last scene. And I had a flight to leave that night. And it kept getting longer and longer, and I kept getting more and more mad. So there's all different methods to get to where you need to be for the movie. And with that, I remember I was just mad. I just wanted to get out there, and I put the gun so in his face that when it went away, and it was just him. When I took the gun away, there was an imprint of the barrel on his face. But that was just because I was mad because I wanted him to get out.
Maybe we'll talk to your friend Terry. Seems to think that you and I are friends. I can imagine what you've been telling them.
I just like the idea of playing a bisexual cop that is on the take, but also loves his group of cops that he works with. It was only 13 episodes, so that appealed to me. Jennifer Lopez, a lot of people knew, so I knew people that were, would be tuned into it. And also because the part that I played, I feel extremely guilty because my daughter killed herself. So when they cast my daughter to do it, she would come, but she was coming in my mind. I was imagining her, so it really resonated to pretend that something horrible happened, and because those scenes were extremely emotional when I did them because of the guilt of what the character was going through. So there were just a lot of levels that were there. I had to fight for them, and because I thought they were missing the boat sometimes of what, having such a great character. There's a lot of things that you guys could explore in this that sticks with the cop show that they finally got to, but then Jennifer just didn't want to keep doing it because she had so many other things going on. So, and doing a weekly series it drains you. It's a lot of work. One, I got to play a lawyer. Noah Baumbach, I really liked the previous things that he's done, and the script was just incredible. It's just such a moving, well-told story. He in terms of the way he directed it, and it was just a fun part in terms of playing. What happens is Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson, they're married. They want to get divorced. He goes and meets me, and I'm the type of lawyer who's, we're going to have to do this, we're going to have to do that, and everything. It wasn't smooth and nice. It was like, if we're going to do this, we're going to have to play hardball. I don't want to have that kind of divorce. I want to do it. We'll just work it out ourselves. All right, fine. He goes to Alan Alda, who goes to court with him, and Scarlett Johansson has Laura Dern as her lawyer, and she's modeled after a real intense lawyer. So he realizes that, maybe Alan Alda's not up to snuff to go against Laura Dern, so he comes back to me and hires me, and then there's just a few scenes, but they were just really, really well-written scenes. The whole thing is really, really good.